Hello there, people of the internet. CrawlinUK here. Time to bring you some more Syberia, and we're actually in the. I'm going to call it the next chapter because it didn't really cut over like a chapter, but I've done the first part,
It's
which
me
was
again,
Vandalan.
Oscar.
Hello, Kate Walker.
Oscar, you know you could just call me Kate.
Okay, we've heard
I
that
am
before.
sorry, Kate.
Well, Why aren't we setting off, Oscar?
I must abide by regulations.
Oh, actually, then it's actually saved before the previous part.
Don't think for...
I also...
If I go train ticket and speak to him.
Right, everything is...
I am most...
Finally.
Right. So yeah, I've already done this. I'll skip through here and see you once we get to the next part.
Where are we, Oscar?
At the halls of residence of Barrockstadt University.
And do we really have to stop here?
The situation is incompatible with the pursuit of our journey.
What are you waiting for, then? Wind them up, find a way. There must be some sort of train winding thing just laying around in this weirdo station.
I have seen nothing that fits that description, Kate Walker.
I guess we'd better find out, then.
I do not like this station. The atmospheric humidity is detrimental to my sophisticated wheel workings. I will wait for you inside the train.
Wimp. And to think that when I first became a lawyer, I was worried I'd get stuck behind a desk.
Is something wrong, Kate Walker? Is the restaurant car service not to your liking? Would you like another pillow?
Don't worry, Oscar. Everything's just hunky-dory. And you are just hunky-dory, too. Oscar, we have a serious problem. How can we carry on our journey if this train doesn't want to budge? What are our options?
Every clock has its key, Kate Walker. Keep looking.
Well, I hope you're right. I'm gonna go see what I can find.
Okay.
Oscar, there's no way you could help me find a way to wind the train back up again?
Rust awaits my every movement if I leave this train, Kate Walker. And what would you do with a rusty engine driver?
Not a lot, I suppose. Oscar, I think that Hans Voralberg once stayed in this town after he left Valadilen. Maybe this wasn't a chance stopover after all.
Nothing is left to chance in a railroad network.
You agree with me, then?
We have no concrete proof to support your hypothesis. The train stopped because the clockwork mechanism is unwound. That is the only concrete evidence we have, Kate Walker.
I was just hoping for a little imagination on your part, Oscar.
No, Kate Walker. I am only an automaton, Kate Walker.
This train might be a wonder of technology, but the engine's limited autonomy is a liability. You got to admit that.
I am afraid I refuse to entertain this consideration, Kate Walker.
Oscar, see you later.
In a while, Kate Walker.
Okay. Let's just go into the. I'll go in here basically. I want to see if I can. So it looks like I can pick these up. I'm not too sure if I would use them for anything in this town. I've already listened to them back in Vandalan.
If that's going to work, it looks like...
Right, okay, so it looks like something's missing. Basically, don't take it. Yeah, nothing in here. I'll get out of here. Which way shall I go? I will go left. Oh, it's like a jungle. No wonder it's so humid. Wait a minute, how did I just get up here? Is that my train if I go back that way? Right, okay, it is. So I get on the train here. I want it to come down the screen. Yep, so nothing here. I can go towards the front. We can run off this way. Right, so we're at the train station entrance, I'm assuming by here. But what I want to look at just now is the opposite side of the train is where the winding mechanism is. I remember back in Vanderland, that's where I wound the train up. So let's have a look, see if we can dismount the other side. Maybe there's someone there. Maybe not. That's weird, I can't go this way. Can I go up here? Yes, I can. That's weird. So I can't go up the ladder without budging the birdies. They don't just run off. Okay. And towards the screen. Ah, that just gets me back to the bridges. It looks like there's a path over here. Okay, let's have a look this way. It's the only route on this side of the train, which is the, we'll call the right side. And we'll explore this area. Oh, that goes back, okay.
The door's locked, but I've still got to get in there.
She's got to get in there. It's an interesting thing really, because back in Venezuela there was a few doors that were locked and she had to get in there, or she's got to get in there, she said, and he never actually went in. They were locked permanently. Okay, so there's two bridges. This is the left side of the train, and we'll go down the back of the trainway. That looks like an automaton.
Hello.
You're on my train, I see.
Yes, I've come from Valladolid.
It's been a long time since I've seen a train here. Students, did you bring students with you?
No, I traveled alone. Well, almost alone.
I remember around the start of fall, trains would bring kids from all around the world here to study zoology and botany, paleontology, and all that stuff. This was a great university.
And it isn't still great today, then?
Today...
Have you been the station master of Barrockstadt for a long time?
I've never had another job. Now, you tell me, are you in charge of this train?
No, I mean, I'm not sure.
So what's your thing here? You come here to do some bookworming over at the university?
Well, sort of. I'm always looking for new information.
Well, you don't seem to know a lot. And about that train, it's gonna get in the way if you leave it there, that's for sure.
In fact, I'm a lawyer and I'm conducting a pretty unusual investigation.
Investigation, huh? Hey, I'm just a station master. I don't know too much about anything.
Well, you never know. Anybody could be significant in this case.
See, nobody actually tells me anything, so my hands are totally clean.
I never implied they weren't. You don't know where I might find equipment to wind up my train springs, do you?
Not in this station, that's for sure. And I would know. You might want to try near the wall. So, thinking of staying for long, yes?
No. I mean, I don't know, actually. 1 or 2 days tops. You see, I've got to wind my train back up so that I can continue my journey.
It's just, if you stay here too long, I might get in trouble. The train should stop, then leave again. That's the rule. Besides, your machine's disturbing the birds.
Maybe you could take me up to this wall? If there were 2 of us, we could find what I need to wind up my train even quicker.
Miss, forgive me, I gotta stick by the rules. You know, I have to man the station. I don't want to get into trouble with my superiors at the university. You understand?
Okay.
The name Hans Voralberg doesn't mean anything to you by chance, does it?
Oh, do you really think I'd remember one little name from the thousands that pass through this station?
Indeed
I'm
you
sorry
won't.
to junk up your station like this, but the spring mechanism on my train needs winding.
A spring-operated locomotive. There's a thing.
Yeah, and an impractical thing, too.
Yeah, I always dreamed of taking a train, but now I'm over the hill. And someone has to take care of the birds, after all.
All
Bird.
these birds in a station. It's amazing.
This is no ordinary station, miss. Oh, no. These birds are part of the prestigious University of Barrockstadt Ornithological Collection. Over the years, this aviary has housed some of the most fantastic species from all over the world. And I am not exactly your typical station master either. This little world is my responsibility, and that is no easy task.
I can well believe you.
And you know what's the hardest? The hardest thing is to keep interspecial harmony. And one day some explorer introduced a couple of cuckoos from the Amazon. Whoa!
It wasn't a good idea?
A nightmare! You know, cuckoos lay their eggs in the nests of other species, right? Now what's more, they also push the host's eggs out of the nest so that they receive all the mother's attention, right? Accursed cuckoos. Nightmare.
I see what you mean. That's one tricky bird. And there was nothing you could do to stop it?
The faculty declared the bird a protected species. If it wasn't for our mechanical eagle, we were sitting on a major ornithological catastrophe.
You have an automaton here?
A wonder of technology. It's an eagle that's mounted on rails in the air. It passes through and it swoops down to collect parasite eggs. But heck, the dang eagle's been out of order for several years. Impossible to collect the eggs myself.
Why not?
I can't climb up the gangway. I fell off it several months back, and I still have a pain in my spine. Not to mention the vertigo I've been getting. I only have to look up in the air. Whoa.
You poor soul. That must be very hard.
Worst thing is, cuckoo eggs piling up in the nests. Soon the rectors are gonna notice. There's trouble in store. Big trouble. I'm worried. Yep, worried.
I
Okay.
won't disturb you any longer, Mr. Stationmaster.
Welcome to Barrockstadt, miss.
So I guess one of our first tasks here in Barrockstadt is to deal with the eggs. Maybe it's part of my quest. Give Oscar the tickets. I've got to do that again. Talk to Oscar about the mission. Distract the birds. Okay. What's this? I would never have seen that had I not just been walking along there. Just came up like pick up. So before I leave, is there nothing else here that I can do? Can't walk that way, can't walk across. This is like a wet river because somewhere there's a tree, which means I can't walk across them. And I can go this way, I remember now. So can I go right up here? I can. So this is the other side of the river. It's not a river, is it? It's supposed to be where the trains come through.
No point. It's locked.
Okay. I need to go that way, I guess. So rail tracks are flooded. It's an old station, I guess.
No point.
That's locked as well. Okay. Looks like the only one way out, which is a good thing. Means I haven't got many places to explore. Run.
No point.
Yay, it's locked. What do we got here? I can't read that, it's in German. There are 3 points of interest. Let's look at the sign first. In case of a problem, call this phone number 2766-6742. Two 6766-6742. I can remember that, I think. So the phone's there.
It's broken.
Maybe it's broken. This here is a coin slot, and then it would open, I believe.
I need a key.
A key. I thought you needed a coin. No? Okay. I'm done with that. Let's get out of here. Oh, what's this? Can I go across here? No. Okay. The final way to go. The original way I went, which was over here. Down here, and then we just run along this path. Oh, so it is a river. I thought it was like flooded the station's platform.
That thing looks like the winding machine I used in the Valladolid station. I've got to find a way of getting the train up here.
What, over here? Where? I'm not sure. I assume up there, but it didn't let me go up them small steps. Ah, maybe over there? No, she's getting smaller. Here we go. Cross now, yeah? No. Can't cross that. Okay. This is a far distance. Can't go anywhere? Okay. Nope, 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 nope. One last try, because I found one thing with this game is that there could be something just tucked away, hidden. I have to move my characters towards it to get it. No, nothing. This side of the river. Nothing there. Okay. Barrockstadt Station. Obviously a difficult place. Ah, because I pressed the A button and I'm tapping the A button just in case there's something to pick up. I would never have got the hook otherwise.
Kate Walker!
Oh yes.
Kate Walker! Come over here, please! I have something to say to you!
Okay. He's going back in the train.
Yes, Oscar, what is it?
A message has arrived for you.
A message?
You have been summoned to see the rectors. They are the highest authority at the university. They want to talk to you.
Talk to me?
Yes, to the person responsible for the train.
So, I'm in charge now, sure, okay. But why would these gentlemen want to see me at all?
They do not say why, just that it's very important.
Everything okay, Oscar?
Okay.
Yes, Kate Walker. I am awaiting your instructions.
Mm-hmm.
Oscar,
All
see
repetitive.
you later, alligator.
In a while, Kate Walker.
Okay, let's see if we can find these rectors. Yep, the door's open, that's good. Nope, this looks very long. I assume the cross away is the place. And I loaded fast. Before I go in, I just want to see that again. It just goes through 2 steps up the stairs and straight to here.
Hello.
Hey, baby, you party? You sure looking mighty fine. Love those big, round eyes.
Just who do you think you are?
Hey, spunky. I like that in a lady. Okay, I'm home. Come on, Zon. I'll let you buy me that coffee.
I don't remember ever asking.
Hey, don't play hard to get. I know you like it big time.
Listen, kid. Go back home and play with your toy cars and forget you ever saw me.
Okay. Almost pointless. I can go across there, that's what I wanted to do. And it looks like there's 4 doors. I can investigate this one. This needs an egg and a turn of the wheel.
If that's going to work, it looks like something's missing.
Okay. There's a puzzle for me. Let's see this then. Nothing. A mammoth. No, don't get to interact. Guess I'll go up these stairs I see. Down these ones. Where am I? I don't see anything. No. Nothing there. Can I go that way? Yes, I can.
That door is locked.
Okay. I could be almost certain it just comes down the other side. Why am I stuck on something? So yeah, I can't go to the right, but I can see a door over here also. Let's see where this one goes. It goes in.
Excuse me. Can I disturb you a second?
No.
You could be a little bit nicer about it.
Keep quiet. In case you haven't noticed, we're somewhere that requires silence and tranquility.
This guy doesn't speak. Oh, what's that? I'll take that. Amerzone? Oh, right, Amerzone. Memories of an expedition. Ah, okay. It's telling you about birds. And she took the book. That's it. She's kept it. Let's have a quick read again. So this bird here, the red Amazon cuckoo, inhabits the more isolated and desert areas of the Amazon forest. It is tinted on the thick upper foliage of the wind. Okay. I was hopefully finding something. Oh, maybe that's it. Eat or be eaten, such as the incapable. Oh no. I was looking for something might eat. The wild vines provide the birds with the majority of its food. The cuckoos is particularly partial to juicy fruits. Okay, that's the info I needed. It's particularly partial to juicy fruits. Anything up here? Why would I climb this? Look. Mushroom guide. Find an egg, find a Sauvignon. Find some Sauvignon. Young Galacola. Okay. Just took a book, don't know why yet. Nothing there. Nothing there. I don't think this area is done. Oh, another door. Ah, is this the guys?
Good day to you, gentlemen.
Tell me, young lady, to what do we owe this pleasure?
Please do be brief. We do not have very much time on our hands.
As rectors of this university, we have serious matters to attend to and our time is precious.
I have heard you wish to meet the owner of the train that is currently in your station. May I know the reason for your summons?
We are surprised that your train has not yet left, miss. The situation is most regrettable.
The rules do clearly state that trains are meant to come and go and not remain stationary at a platform.
Trains should first stop, then subsequently leave. That is the rule.
We agree then, dear colleagues, that what we're dealing with is deviant behavior.
This matter really is cause for concern.
It's a clockwork train, you see? So it needs winding up again. Unfortunately, there is no equipment in the station to do this.
A clockwork train? That's strange.
How very quaint. You mean it's some sort of mechanical toy?
You are causing a hindrance to us, miss.
I am very hopeful that I will find what I need along the wall.
The wall?
Miss, that really is not a suitable place for you to go.
Especially for a young lady.
You see, miss, we freely admit that every day we praise the existence of that particular edifice. We owe the integrity of our dear university and the fine education it provides to the wall.
It protects us from harm and invasion from the unknown.
May God protect us from what is beyond those ramparts, miss. Please believe me.
I don't have any choice. I must continue my journey.
Such a decision is a correct one since it's in line with regulations.
Thus, your train will indeed be able to leave.
And consequently cease to obstruct our station.
Okay.
I haven't introduced myself. My name is Kate Walker.
Walker, haven't we already had a Miss Walker? Ethnology Masters, September 1953, if my memory serves me correctly.
Perfectly well, my dear colleague. But if I may be so bold, it was a Mr. Walker and not a Miss. It was Bill Walker, sat this June 68 exams. The impudent fool turned up for the oral assessment in jeans, flouting strict internal regulations which explicitly state the required uniform for the occasion.
Pure incitement. It was scandalous. Sadly, we have seen worse since. Young people lack all respect.
Talking to these guys seems to be
Tradition, young lady. One must
useless.
always uphold tradition.
You see, I didn't actually intend to stop here, but the springs of my train gave up, you see?
No, not really. You mean to say you're not a student?
You have arrived a little late in the term, miss. Enrollment for this year has already terminated.
But as rectors of this university, and therefore representatives of its highest authority, we could bend the rules a little, if you like.
You don't understand. I'm a lawyer from New York. Or rather, Valladolid, more precisely. My client wants to buy out an old mechanical toy factory, but its heir isn't actually dead, and is living somewhere in Syberia. I've got to get to him to sign the sales contract. You see?
Not really. This is a most peculiar tale.
A kerfuffle of the highest order.
We have an excellent law school, if you should ever change your mind.
Can you possibly help me out here?
Miss, your insistence is almost verging on indecency.
If you don't mind, could you not disturb us all the time? Thank you.
We cannot constantly be at your disposal. We have many other requests to attend to.
Does the name Hans Voralberg mean anything to you by chance?
Ah, one of the brightest, most idealistic intellects to have graced our university. Hans Voralberg. I remember speaking to him once. I was still a student at the time. He just stared at me, lost in thought for a while. He scarcely ever said a word. But how can one forget him?
Idealistic? I'll grant you that, but bright? Oh, don't go too far. He was completely incapable of passing any exams. All he ever did was to sit in on lessons, and not many of them either. Paleontology, mainly. He had an unhealthy passion for mammoths, which matched the state of his intellect perfectly. That is to say, prehistoric.
Prehistoric? How dare you? A little far-fetched, maybe. But he did have flashes of intellectual brilliance, comprehensible only to high-minded scholars who hold no score by appearances. My dear colleague, your hasty conclusions are somewhat cavalier.
My assessment is wholly accurate. The boy was a little odd. You must concur if my father, who was rector of the university at the time, had not shown great indulgence towards him. Hans Voralberg would have never attended this establishment.
What about the bandstand, then? Is that the work of a deranged mind? Even after all these years, you are still jealous of it.
My dear colleagues, I beseech you, let's show some decorum. We have a visitor. What do you want with Hans Voralberg, miss? Are you a member of his family?
No, not at all. I'm looking for him to clear up an inheritance matter. Is he still here?
What? Here? At the university? No, not at all. He left a long time ago. Yes, a very long time ago. The very year I was nominated to this position, in fact. Almost 50 years ago already.
The poor soul moved on once he learned all he needed to know about mammoths.
Ah, this establishment was never quite the same after his departure, it must be said.
You mean to say it was never as bad? All that oddball brought to this university was his misplaced fantasies.
Gentlemen, let's try to retain the calm and level-headedness that befits our position.
Okay, very interesting.
Excuse me.
Miss, we find ourselves terribly put out by the presence of your train in our station and by its recurrent immobility.
Indeed, the situation is very regrettable. Your huge locomotive is very cumbersome.
A train should first stop, then subsequently leave. That is the rule.
Okay.
That idea of the station aviary is really very original.
It's the pride of our university. One of the specialties taught here is zoology, you see, and more particularly, ornithology. Proper study and instruction should not be limited to books. Observation of living matter is indissociable from theoretical questions.
It contains some very rare specimens that have been brought back from faraway, exotic countries, especially for our university, by the world's most intrepid explorers.
Do you remember Alexander Valenbois and his peculiar bird?
Absolutely. His gift produced some very embarrassing long-term consequences.
A poison chalice indeed. It must be said the situation could have been much worse, however.
Oh, yes, it could have been terribly problematic.
Okay. Oh, about young
Can you tell
Galacola.
me if I can find Yangala Cola here in Barrockstadt?
I'm sorry, come again? What on earth are you suggesting, miss? How positively infuriating.
I am sorry. Look, are there any...
Yongala Cola!
The lady said Yangala Koala.
No, she said Yongala Cola.
No, you have no idea. It's Yangola Koala. Do try to follow.
No! Right Honorable Assistant Rector, sir, are you in any way insinuating that I am hard of hearing?
I would not dream of such an insinuation, oh right honorable
This
assistant
is
rector, sir. Dyslexic,
over the
maybe,
top
however.
with
I seem
chatter.
to remember you having a little difficulty pronouncing tricky tropical names.
What? I think you'll find it's you who has deficiencies in the area of cultural matters.
Gentlemen, please. The right pronunciation is Yangala Cola. It's a little...
We understood.
Perfectly.
And why might you be looking for this Yang thingamajig?
Indeed. What a strange request. Why could you possibly need Yangala Koala?
Okay, so no information there.
You wouldn't know if there is any Forest Sauvignon here in Barrockstadt, would you?
Absolutely.
When he says absolutely, he means, of course, absolutely none.
What we mean, of course, is that we are absolutely positive there is no Forest Sauvignon here in Barrockstadt.
Really? Are you sure? Because I read in a book that Barrockstadt possesses a number of plants. I wouldn't mind getting a hold of some if possible.
Out of the question, miss. Don't forget the regulations, miss. Don't forget them. Trains should first stop, then subsequently leave. And quickly.
The assistant rector means to say that our priority is for you to remove your train from our station.
Yes, indeed.
Your research will have to wait until your next stop.
Yes, that's right. Your train must leave the station immediately, so please refrain from wasting our time in needless visitations.
Okay, so the locks.
If you can possibly get the canal lock open, then the sailors will be able to tow the train up to the winding machine.
What a surprising request.
Open the lock? What a singular idea.
Our university isn't responsible for the functioning of the canal locks. A different administration deals with that, miss.
Okay. So they're not going to tell us who.
Here we are, busy...
Already?
Yep.
My word doesn't time.
Thank you for a charming visit, miss.
And thank
Okay.
you, gentlemen.
Let's get out of here. Can we go down the screen? Yes, we can. There's more doors. Unless this is the library. Yep, it is. Okay. It's quite disorientating, is this place. I thought I'd come from this direction. It doesn't look like I can go that way. Or that way. On here. That just takes me back to here. Straight across the other way. That's good. Someone studying mammoths there. And a door I can't even touch.
Excuse me.
Indeed.
Sir? Please, just a moment.
Yes, what is it? I'm not deaf, you know.
I am sorry to disturb you in your work, sir, but...
This young mammothus primigenius is barely 40,000 years old. Fantastic, wouldn't you say, miss?
Yes. Probably.
What do you mean, probably?
I don't know.
You don't know? Oh, you don't know, I see. What can I do for you, my dear child?
Oh wow.
To tell you the truth, I don't know very much about mammoths, and I'm not here as a student. In fact, I'm a lawyer.
It's all right. Nobody's perfect. All the same, the study of the Pleistocene period is fascinating.
I'm sure it is. but I'm sorry to say my current mission is totally monopolizing my time. Another time, maybe.
Ah, that's what they all say. But anyway, let me present myself. I'm Cornelius Pons, Emeritus Professor and Lecturer at the University of Barrockstadt. I'm proud to say that I'm head of the Department of Paleozoology at our university.
Kate Walker. Pleased to meet you. It
Mission?
wasn't really my intention to stop off here, but I'll confess, this university is really very impressive.
Ah, indeed. There's such a tradition of learning here. So much knowledge, a real depth of culture, intelligence, and gray matter. I myself did my studies here and never left.
Actually, I'm here because I've been summoned by the rectors of the university.
Oh, I see. You must have made a mistake on your enrollment form.
Oh, no. I haven't come here to study. I have an important matter of inheritance to attend to. I have to find the heir.
And you hope you will find him here?
I'm not altogether sure. But you see, my train broke down coming into Barrockstadt Station.
In that case, my dear, you must come to one of my lectures. Here's a question for you. Do you know what the Proboscidean order is?
The Probo-whatian?
Ah, you see? There are gaps in your knowledge that need refreshing.
Okay, can he
I
help
feel
us?
I've lost my way a little here. I could really do with your help.
Oh, my dear child, you've chosen your moment. I absolutely must finish off my lecture for this afternoon.
It's a lecture about mammoths?
Oh, yes and no. More specifically, it is about their migration. Do excuse me, I need to concentrate.
This
To
one.
tell you the truth, I'm looking for Mr. Hans Voralberg. He's the sole heir of a very unusual factory. My company is in charge of negotiations for the takeover of this factory. At last word, he was living in Syberia. So, as soon as my train is ready, I'll be continuing my journey eastwards.
Syberia. Ah, Syberia. But what was it you said again?
Said what?
You mentioned a name. The person you are looking for.
Voralberg. Hans Voralberg. Do you know him?
Hans Voralberg. How could I forget him? Such an extraordinary fellow. So inventive. We shared a passion for mammoths, you know, and we bonded over this passion. Without it, I confess, I would have had little to do with an odd, ageless retard like Hans. At the time, we were both students. Well, sort of. Put it this way. Hans had special permission to attend paleontology lectures. You see, he didn't really have the necessary qualifications. In exchange, Hans did a few odd jobs around the university.
Your Hans Voralberg sounds uncannily like the one I'm looking for.
I'm not sure, my dear. Hans was above all questions of money and business. Just to imagine him running a factory, perish the thought.
Can you tell me a little bit more about him?
He was always a mystery to me. He never said very much, never quite seemed to grasp what you said to him. He expressed himself instead through his incredible mechanical contraptions. His inventions, I admit, have been much appreciated by the university. The few times we really did talk, it was about his strange interest for mammoths and a doll. Some sort of doll that obsessed him.
A doll, you say?
Yes, he kept talking about it. One day he described it to me. A sort of children's toy. A miniature mammoth mounted by a mount. It appears he found it in a cave not far from his home. The event all sounds very dramatic. His account was slightly confused, but it awoke a great interest in me.
What do you mean?
To my knowledge, there was only one tribe who made figurines featuring a mount, and that tribe is the cuckoos. They live in the farthest reaches of Syberia, and for them, the dolls constituted a sacred object, illustrating one of their central legends. How such a doll made the journey from the frozen Siberian north to a cave in the French Alps is a mystery to me. Even today, it is beyond my comprehension.
Have you considered that Hans Voralberg was maybe making it up? You said yourself he didn't seem to have all his mental facilities intact.
No, that's impossible. Hans couldn't invent a story like that. The doll is a sacred part of the Syberia legend. He described it to me in exact detail. Syberia itself is a chimera that paleontologists of the world are very fond of pursuing.
Okay, next.
Arriving in Barrockstadt is an amazing experience. I've never seen such a station.
You came by train?
Yes, in a kind of clockwork train with a spring mechanism that winds down regularly.
You mean you drive a train? Young ladies of today never cease to amaze me.
Oh, no, I'm not the engineer. The train's engineer is actually an automaton. I am sorry, all this probably sounds very strange.
A clockwork train, driven by an automaton. I once knew a man long ago who could have invented such a train. It was he who designed the bandstand in the main square. To think that he was even capable of creating such a gadget. He was astounding, a true genius. But oddly, at the same time, he was also almost a child. It was as if his mental and physical evolution had definitively halted at the age of 10. Can you believe that?
Yes. I think I can believe that. At least I'm beginning to.
Okay,
My train stopped in a peculiar aviary. It's very odd. A lot of bird species seem to seek harbor there.
Ornithology is far from being my favorite subject, but I must concede that the station is the pride of the university. It was initially intended for teaching purposes, but then birds started arriving from all around the world. It seems that there are still rare species breeding there and flourishing.
Are there? Can you give me an example?
I have been told about a kind of bird with peculiar habits. Let's see now, the Amerzone cuckoo, that's right. But, oh, I'm so foolish, I can't remember what was so special about it. Just that its behavior is very peculiar.
The Amerzone? Where's the Amerzone? What is the Amerzone?
I'm sorry, my dear, but one cannot learn everything in a lifetime. Specialization is the key to real knowledge. Why don't you pay a visit to our library?
Thank you very much.
Okay.
I read in the library in a book on the Amerzone that there's a mushroom called the Yangalacola. I'd like to try and find some if you have any in your collections. It just might come in handy.
Yangalacola? Ah, but of course, a marvelous idea. Yes, yes, indeed. I expect I have some of that somewhere in my laboratory. I remember pulverizing it myself. Now, where did I put that container?
Do you mind if I have a look around? I'll be careful.
Oh, no, not at all. I wish you luck in trying to find something in the midst of this scholar's jumble, but please, go ahead.
Okay. So it looks like I'll be able to find some.
If I were to say Forest Sauvignon to you, what would you say?
Oh, let's see. Sauvignon. Sauvignon? I would say it's some kind of tropical shrub, don't you think?
We are talking about the same plant, then. It is a very rare shrub with small, juicy fruits. I found a book about the Amerzone, and it says that there are even Sauvignon plants growing right here in Barrockstadt. You wouldn't know where, would you?
Amerzone Sauvignon plants here? No. No, I don't think there are any. Highly implausible. But, you should ask the Stationmaster. He is keeper of the greenhouse at our university, so he could tell you more than me.
Oh, thanks very much.
Down to the last one.
I'm under the impression that if I am to continue my journey, I'm going to have to open the locks on the canal.
You're probably right, my dear, so open the locks. Whether they are open or closed is none of my business.
He can't help it.
I'll leave you in peace. I hope I haven't disturbed you too much.
Sorry? No, not at all, my dear child.
Okay, so looks like I can explore his office. I don't know if this is his office here. Doesn't look like I can go in there. Or down the hall more. Ah, there's an office here.
No point. It's...
Oh, so I can't go in there. This one again, just to make sure. Nope, nothing. I'll have a chat with the station master, but I'll have to do that next time. It's been a long video this time, speaking to all the people in the university and especially even the station master. So we'll just watch this last scene.
Hello?
So, you got him then, this air?
Ah, it's you, Mr. Marson. Good day, and how are you, sir?
I'll feel a whole lot better when this whole business is over and the sales contract is signed. Where the hell are you?
I'm in Barrockstadt.
Bollocks, what? What in God's name are you doing there?
It's a magnificent university town. It would appear Hans Voralberg once passed by here several years ago.
So if he isn't there anymore, then there's no point hanging around.
I hear what you're saying, sir, but I have good reason to believe that Hans Voralberg is still alive. For the time being, I'm trying to gather extra information from people who have known him.
What's your next destination?
I'm not exactly sure yet.
Doesn't sound like you know too much, Kate.
I just need a bit of time, Mr. Marson.
Yeah, well, time is what you ain't got. Keep me posted.
Okay. Well, let's get on with this, but like I say, there's been a lot of chatter in this video, so I think I'll have to play this tomorrow. If you've enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up, but don't forget to subscribe for more videos on this. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Bye.